Welcome to Anks English, the podcast where we unlock the secrets to speaking English with confidence, ease, and a spark of your unique personality. I'm your host, Ank, and I'm so excited to have you here today. Let me start with a question that might hit home. Have you ever watched a movie in English or overheard a conversation and thought, how do they talk so fast and still sound so effortless? Or maybe you felt frustrated because your English feels slow, stiff, or just not quite you. If that sounds familiar, this episode is made for you. Today, we're diving into the magic of speaking English with speed, razor-sharp clarity, and that natural real-world vibe that makes people lean in and listen. Stay with me until the end for practical tips, fun exercises, inspiring stories, and a mindset boost that'll change how you approach speaking. Let's get rolling. So why do so many English learners struggle to keep up with fast, everyday English? Let's unpack this step by step. First, there's a massive gap between classroom English and real-world English. In school, you learn phrases like, "What is your name?" or "How are you?" spoken slowly, clearly, almost like a robot. It's great for beginners, but it doesn't prepare you for what happens outside the classroom. In real life, native speakers might say, "What's your name?" or "Yo, how's it hangin'?" It's the same language, but the rhythm, the slang, and the speed are totally different. It's like learning to swim in a pool and then being thrown into the ocean waves. Native speakers connect words, drop sounds, and use expressions you won't find in textbooks. And if your ears aren't trained for that, it can feel like you're drowning in words. Another big challenge is the kind of practice most learners focus on. Don't get me wrong, grammar rules and vocabulary lists are important, like the foundation of a house. But if you only study those, you're not training your brain to process fast speech or your mouth to keep up with it. It's like practicing piano scales but never playing a song. To speak fluently, you need to practice listening to real conversations and speaking at a natural pace. Without that, you might know all the words but still freeze when someone asks, "So what's good?" And then there's the emotional side. Fear. Fear of messing up. Fear of sounding awkward. Fear of not being understood. I've been there when I was learning a new language. You start a sentence, then stop to check if your verb is correct, and suddenly the moment passes. That fear makes you speak slowly, carefully, and sometimes so formally that it doesn't sound like you. But here's a secret. Native speakers aren't perfect. We stumble, say or like, and sometimes even mix up words. What keeps the conversation going is flow, not flawlessness. The goal is to connect, not to sound like a dictionary. Today, I'm sharing tools to help you overcome these hurdles. If you've ever felt stuck with fast English, take a deep breath. You're not alone. And with the right practice, you can absolutely shine. Let's kick things off with the first big topic, speaking fast. Should you try to sound like you're in a race? Well, it's a bit of a yes and no. Speed can make you sound fluent, but if you rush without control, your words might blur together like a bad radio signal. Imagine trying to match a native speaker's pace and saying, "Go store," instead of "I'm going to the store." It's not clear and it doesn't help anyone understand you. The real magic isn't just speed, it's natural flow. Native speakers use shortcuts that make speech smoother, like gonna instead of going to, wanna instead of want to, or lemme for let me. These aren't lazy, they're how we keep conversations light and quick. Let me give you an example. Say this slowly. "I'm going to the park." Got it? Now try it faster and more natural. "I'm gonna hit the park." Feel how it rolls off the tongue? It's quicker, more relaxed, but still clear. If you're new to this, don't feel pressured to speed up right away. Start slow, get your words right, and build speed gradually. Think of it like learning to dance. You learn the steps first, then add the rhythm and flair. When I was practicing French years ago, I used to mimic my favorite YouTubers. At first, I sounded like I was reading a script, but after a while, I started picking up their vibe. Things like je vais instead of je vais. It felt like unlocking a new level. The same applies to English. My advice? Focus on clarity first, then add speed with practice. Fluency isn't about talking fast. It's about sounding smooth, confident, and like yourself. Now let's talk about clarity, because speed without clarity is like driving a car with foggy windows. You're moving, but no one knows where you're going. Speaking clearly means people can understand you without straining. It's not about pronouncing every word like a robot, like I am going to the market. That sounds stiff and unnatural. Instead, aim for something like, I'm gonna go to the market. Relaxed, but every word is distinct. So, how do you nail clarity? First, work on English sounds that might be tricky for you. Depending on your native language, some sounds can feel like tongue gymnastics. For example, the teeth in think or this is tough for many learners because it doesn't exist in their language, so it might come out as tink or dis. Or the R in river might feel different from what you're used to. Practice these sounds out loud. Exaggerate them, have fun with it like you're a kid playing with words. Say think, this, 10 times in a row. Second, pay attention to stress and intonation. English isn't flat. We emphasize key words to carry meaning. Try this. I'm going to the market. The stress on market shows it's the main idea. If you stress every word equally, it sounds robotic and confusing. Another big tip, don't skip word endings. This is a common mistake. Dropping the S in cats or the ed in walked can change the meaning. Say, I walked to the store, not I walked to store. It seems small, but it matters. Here's a trick. Record yourself saying a sentence like, I walked to the store to buy apples. Play it back and ask, would a friend get this? If it's unclear, slow down slightly or focus on those endings. And one more tip. Speak in phrases, not word by word. Instead of, I want to get coffee, try I want to grab some coffee. It flows better and still sounds clear. Clarity is about good pronunciation, natural rhythm, and speaking with heart. You don't need to be perfect, just understandable. All right, we've got speed and clarity covered. Now let's dive into the fun stuff. Speaking real English. What does that mean? It's the kind of English you hear in everyday life, at a cafe, in a Netflix show, or among friends. It's not the formal, textbook phrases like, I am not sure, or let's go. Real English is alive with contractions, idioms, and a dash of personality. You'd say, I'm not sure, or even dunno. Instead of let us go, it's let's go. It's about sounding human, not like you're reading a grammar book. But real English is more than words, it's emotion. Your voice carries your feelings. If you're excited, you might say, no way, that's epic, with a big smile. If you're relaxed, you might go, yeah, cool, with a chill vibe. Native speakers also link words together. What do you want? Becomes, what do you want? It's not sloppy, it's natural, like breathing. Let me share a story. When I was a teenager, I was obsessed with American TV shows. I'd pause and repeat lines like, yo, what's good? Or I'm totally down for that. At first, I felt like I was pretending, but over time, those phrases became part of me. I started using them with friends, and suddenly I felt like I belonged in the conversation. That's what real English does. It lets you express you. So how do you sound real? Listen to native speakers in podcasts, YouTube videos, or music. Notice their rhythm, their expressions. Try copying phrases like I'm super pumped instead of I am happy. Don't avoid contractions or casual words. They're not wrong. They're how people connect. And here's the best part. Real English isn't about perfection. It's about being comfortable, sharing your ideas, and having fun. Let your personality shine, whether you're joking, storytelling, or just chatting about your day. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes learners make when trying to master speed, clarity, and realness. First, speaking too slowly out of fear. You might think slow equals clear, but it can make conversations feel like they're dragging. Imagine talking to someone who's pausing every few words. It breaks the flow. The fix? Find a middle pace that feels natural. Practice in front of a mirror or with a friend to get comfy. Second, rushing and losing clarity. When you try to sound fast, you might mumble or skip sounds, like saying I go store instead of I'm going to the store. Slow down just enough to hit those key sounds and endings. Third, overthinking grammar. I see this a lot. Learners freeze mid-sentence because they're worried about using the right tense or preposition. But real conversations don't wait for perfection. Focus on your message. Small grammar mistakes won't derail you. Fourth, sticking to textbook English. Some learners avoid slang or contractions because they think it's improper, but that makes you sound like a robot. Dive into real English by watching shows or chatting with native speakers. And finally, fearing mistakes. This one's huge. Some learners hold back because they're scared of sounding silly or being judged. But mistakes are proof you're growing. Think of them as badges of courage. The more you speak, the more you learn. All right, let's get practical with a practice session to help you feel the difference between speed and clarity. I'll say a sentence slowly first, then faster but still clear. You, my awesome listeners, say it out loud with me. Let's have fun. First one, slow. I am meeting my friends later. Now faster. I'm meeting my friends later. Try it. Great job. Next one, slow. Do you want to come with me? Faster. Want to come with me? Your turn. Another one. Slow, I will call you tomorrow. Faster. I'll call you tomorrow. Nice. Let's do 2 more for extra practice. Slow, I'm going to buy some food. Faster, I'm going to grab some food. Go for it. And one last one. Slow. What time is it? What do you mean, what time is it? Perfect. Keep practicing these at home, starting slow and building speed while keeping every word clear. It's like finding your groove in a song. Start steady, then let it flow. Now, let's share some powerful techniques to train yourself for speed, clarity, and realness. First, try shadowing. Pick a short clip from a podcast, movie, or YouTube video. Listen to a native speaker and repeat their words in real time, copying their tone, rhythm, and pronunciation. It's like shadowing a singer to learn their melody. It trains your flow. Start with a simple line like, I'm totally down for that, and repeat it until it feels natural. Second, record yourself. Speak on a topic. Maybe describe your favorite hobby or read a sentence like, I'm going to the store to grab coffee. Play it back and listen. Are your words clear? Is the pace natural? It's like being your own coach. Third, practice linking words and contractions. Instead of I am going to, say am gonna. Instead of I want to, try I wanna. Say these out loud a few times to feel the difference. Fourth, tackle tongue twisters. Try this. Peter Piper picked 6 pickled peppers. Or this, Sally sells seashells by the shore. Say each one 5 times, starting slow and speeding up. They're fun and train your mouth to move faster and clearer. Fifth, speak in chunks, not word by word. Instead of I need to go to the store, say I'm gonna hit the store. Practice full phrases to make your speech flow like a river. And one bonus tip, practice with a partner. If you have a friend who speaks English, chat with them about simple topics like food or movies. It pushes you to think on your feet and sound natural. The key to all these? Practice daily, even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes. Small steps lead to big leaps. Before we wrap up, let's talk about mindset, because this is the glue that holds it all together. Fear of mistakes can stop you cold, but here's the truth. Mistakes are your best teachers. When I was learning Spanish, I once told a friend I'm so exciting instead of I'm so excited. We both laughed, and I never forgot the right phrase after that. Native speakers mess up too. We pause, stumble, and still keep going. Don't aim for perfection, aim to connect. Your unique voice, even with a few quirks, is what makes your English special. So when you slip up, smile, learn, and move on. Confidence grows every time you speak, even if it's just one word. Let me share one last story to inspire you. A listener named Maria emailed me a few weeks ago. She said she used to avoid speaking English because she was terrified of making mistakes. But she started small, shadowing her favorite podcast for 10 minutes a day, practicing phrases like, "I'm gonna grab some coffee." At first, she felt awkward, but after a month, she noticed her words were flowing faster and clearer. Last week, she joined an online book club with native speakers and shared her thoughts without freezing. She wasn't perfect, but she was real, and that made her proud. Maria's story proves that with practice and courage, you can transform your English. Wow, we've covered a ton today, speaking fast, clear, and real. Here's the big takeaway. Practice with patience and purpose. Start with clear speech, add speed over time, and sprinkle in natural expressions. Every word you say is progress. Don't fear mistakes, they're signs you're growing. Keep listening to real English, whether it's podcasts, shows, or music. Practice speaking out loud, even if it's just to your mirror, and let your personality shine through. Speaking English is about sharing you with the world, and you've got something incredible to share. So here's your call to action, listeners. Pick one tip from today and try it this week. Shadow a movie clip, record yourself speaking, or tackle a tongue twister. Share your journey with us on social media using hashtag AnxEnglish. I'd love to cheer you on. Thanks for joining me today. You're absolutely amazing, and I believe in you. Keep speaking fast, clear, and real. This is Ank signing off. See you next time.